And while I was researching this, I kept coming back to a single question. And that single question was, how are they able to survive these conditions? I understand that they can. And honestly, once I found out that they don't need water for 10 years, it's kind of like, all right, so fundamentally they can survive anything. But how? How are they doing this? And to answer the question of how, we actually can for a few of the extreme conditions, but for other ones we can't. So for the ones that we can answer, for example, in regards to dehydration, I turned to a wired.com article that was written by Matt Simon. And it says, quote, the water bear's trick is something called cryptobiosis, in which it brings its metabolic processes nearly to a halt. In this state, it can dehydrate to 3% of its normal water content in what's called desiccation. Yeah, desiccation. Okay, desiccation, becoming a husk of its former self. But just add water, and the tardigrade roars back to life. Now, also from that same article, they have another explanation from Bob Goldstein of the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill. And he offers another explanation as to one way that they could be staying alive. So he says, quote, there's one that we know of, which is some animals that survive drying make a sugar called uh, trehalose. And trehalose sort of replaces water as they dry down. So it'll make a glossy surface, or sorry, a glassy surface actually, and where normally water would be sitting. That probably helps prevent a lot of the damage that normally occurs when you dry something down or when you rehydrate it. Not all of the 1,000 or so species of water bears produce this sugar, though, he says. So there must be some other trick going on because all the species can survive and they don't all do this. So it it's just that right there. It's the fact that a professor from the University of North Carolina, who is by all accounts here, he's just, yeah, I mean, he's a microbiologist. He's a doctor of microbiology. And he is unable to explain why these thousands of species of water bears are able to survive in all of these different conditions. And the fact that we can't explain definitively how water bears survive these conditions, I think that's something to really think about. Science really cannot explain this.